All right, today we're starting our very first in-game custom challenge mode using the new challenge mode settings. We're doing San Marie Bay. We're basically going to go back and we're going to revisit the challenge we attempted to do previously, where we did only aquatics, and it didn't work because San Marie Bay was a glitched out piece of shit. But it should be fine now. So what we're doing is we're actually able to set this challenge up very specifically to do that. So San Marie Bay, custom difficulty level, et cetera, et cetera. We've got our objectives are 5 stars, guest count and appeal, not a species count because it's going to be a weird number with aquatics, and we don't want to deal with that. We just want to get, whatever we feel we need to finish the park. Under dinosaur settings, high disease, high escapes. Intelligent is on, but I'm not sure it actually is going to interact with anything if we're doing aquatics. Yeah, marine flying only is an available setting we can do here. So that's what we're doing for specifically just marines. Genomes are unlocking at 100%. We'll see if this works. It's possible we run out of cash. We are using gene mods. We're starting with no genome data. For gameplay, we're doing contracts off, narrative events on. High staff rest and cost, high salaries. We're not doing saboteur because it's really obnoxious. We're not doing expert hiring requirements because we're going to save that one for later. And then, yeah, research costs, Jurassic. Feeder unlocked Jurassic, which means we don't get fish feeders until later if we decide to do pterosaurs, which we might not even do any pterosaurs. We might do strictly just aquatics. We'll see. I have not fully committed to strictly just aquatics. Sabotage risk Jurassic. Terrain editing is expensive. Only one staff center. We'll see if I keep that way. I think that's fine. Starting cash 5 million, which is the lowest you can go in custom challenge mode. We probably need a little bit of extra money to do the aquatic start over the regular start. So we'll see if the 5 mil is even actually enough here with aquatics, especially because we need the full genome before we can do anything with them. So we might have to tinker with these settings. Income tax is high. Everything else here is Jurassic. Frequent storms. All right, that's the scenario. You can see the share code down there in the corner. I'll also put it in the description of the video if I remember. And yes, Scry, we have intelligent dinosaurs, but I'm not sure it actually works with aquatics or anything, or flyers for that matter, anything other than like carnivores, like ground carnivores. All right, so here's the natural lagoon. Now, I know the lagoon viewing galleries are bugged, at least on like some consoles, or sometimes bugged maybe. And the bug seems to happen when you reload a park that has them. They seem to teleport to the surface of the lagoon. And that's funny. So we'll see if that comes up. We won't see it for a few episodes since I record these in batches. We do start with a free lagoon hatchery on this map, but without power, and we need an entrance. So let's try and maybe stick with the Malta buildings as much as possible for theming. It has indeed been a little while since we've done anything Malta themed, maybe. Maybe if we put this way, it'll fit here decently. Maybe. The hitboxes are clearly still very weird with the natural lagoon there. Okay, let's do this. Let's do a little bit of extremely expensive terrain editing, and we can flatten out. Also, this is, oh god, that was not the intended experience. This is completely unmodded again. We'll be doing completely unmodded park builds for at least the first few, and we'll go from there. Yeah, so it looks to me like this doesn't actually help us get this in here anywhere, but we can at least get it over here on the other side without running into issues with terrain constraints, or minimizing potential issues with terrain constraints. So I think we want to get that viewing gallery. I think putting it forward or backward doesn't make much of a difference, so I'm just going to plop it right there in those trees. That should be fine. An arrival building. Oh god, I forgot that this arrival building is this massive monstrosity. Oh boy. So this has to probably go all the way down here somewhere. Yeah, right about there. Okay, so I'm gonna flatten some more, spending our precious money on. God damn it! The flattening is so janky on this map because of the way the natural lagoon kind of works. Well, there's some more money lit on fire. It's fine. The feeder bug was fixed a few updates ago, or was supposed to be fixed a few updates ago. Um, maybe it isn't. We'll see. All we can do is try it out, and if it fails, it fails. Hopefully that becomes pretty apparent that it's working or not working. Like very quickly apparent. Otherwise, we could be in a situation like before where it takes a little while for us to actually catch on. We know to keep an eye out for it this time, though. So that is something at least. I kind of just really blocked myself in here, huh? With like where I put this power. Well, that's fine because that'll eventually be other structures like shops and stuff we can put in there after we get rid of the small power. This looks to me like just putting it tight to that angle will look good because they kind of puzzle piece together there a little bit. We'll try that and go from there. Yeah, and so when you do the aquatics and pterosaurs, you do get the lagoon stuff right away. So even if you don't do this map, you can in fact uh, do like this. You could do this like lagoon park on any map. Yeah, I did see that Archelon is apparently insane in terms of stats. We'll have to investigate that and see what the deal there is. Oh, you do get free lagoon viewing stands, so that's neat. Are these... Oh, no, these are the feeder connection points. You already get the lagoon viewing stands. We know this because they're right here. Yeah. Yeah. I know how the game works. Okay. We're online. Power is draining. We've lit on fire 500k already. Let's take a look. Oh, shoot. The acquisition, right? Because Malta is specifically dinosaur exchange, so you don't get a fossil building. You need to use one from somewhere else. So, what do we want to use? Biosyn or like DFW? DFW is probably the best one to pair with Malta because they both kind of have that like exposed to the environment vibe thing going on a little bit. We can put this in right here. Oh, but it's going to be out of range of power. You know what? That's probably fine. Well, backup generators are expensive. Is there anything else I could do with this? Not really. I've kind of doomed myself. It'll fit there. All right, let's do that. Actually, the real question is, are backup generators actually expensive compared to the cost of refueling them? Right? If we have two backup generators, what is the cost compared to refueling a backup generator up to the level of the second one? How much of that is the actual generator and how much of that is the fuel? I don't know that question, and we're not going to investigate it right now because we have made space for the expedition center and it's fine. Everything's fine. I guess we'll put it at a slight angle here to just maximize, or I guess minimize the area it takes. Maximize the amount of area saved. That's a good way to put it. All right, now that should give us everything we need, but we gotta wait for that to build. Why don't we micromanage and deactivate you until we have fossils? Yeah, we can go on fast forward. So we need 2,500 guests and an appeal total of 10k. Those are pretty standard, like, Jurassic challenge levels, I think, from what I've seen editing files. So, apparently we can get Donkey already. That's surprising to me. Hold on, let's pop over to Research Tree. Donkey is tier 1. No shit? That's insane. Archelon is there. Shonisaurus is there. Nothosaurus is there. So we have no... Ostensibly, we have no, like, high-tier aquatics, but that's not really true from what I understand in terms of stats. So, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so it's insane to me that Donkey is on this tier because Ichthyosaurus and Plesiosaurus are both very small aquatics, and Donkey is not so small. Yeah, if Donkey should have a big appeal, he shouldn't be on the first tier. So that is insane that he's on the first tier, right? I think you agree with me, even though you said you didn't, essentially. So do we want to start with just Donkey then? Maybe it's only 4 logistics to dig up, which might be a draw. Pleasy is 7, Ichthy is 10. Okay, so Donkey is the easiest to dig, but I wonder if it's going to be more expensive to clone. 180, 600k, 1 mil. This is Dunk for sure. Well, I was not expecting to see a new aquatic as our first species. We just need 4 logistics here. Faster expedition, but stupid expensive. This is probably 2 faster in general. That's 4 genetics, 4 welfare. They're not the cheapest. 375. I mean, we don't have that many cheap options. Yeah, no, it's got to be those 2. We can grab the generalist first, because that should open up 1 more slot. Altruistic salary, 2 logistics. Ooh. That's a tough one. That's actually a really tough call. She gets us the logistics, but no other skills. We're definitely going to need at least 4 genetics and welfare and probably more. So I think we should still take Waynette. What an unfortunate name. Well, let's grab Waynette. All right, Dunk. From Lost to Burrow Gap. Is that... I don't know if that's still within California or if that's like Nevada? Not sure exactly where that falls. Okay, urgent message. Rival company claims dig site. Well, we're already getting punished by having narrative events on. I think we just got to burn the 250. That's a lot of money, but 3 times remaining task time is probably way more bleed out from staff costs. So I think that makes sense. And then let's let it run. Here's the other metric, timer. Okay, 2 minutes, and we have 50% faster, right? That's what her ability was, faster expeditions. So that would have been 4 minutes, which actually would have been kind of bad. You know what? In this particular instance, this is like the best time that for fast expeditions. Because like you need to get a creature out ASAP. And fast expeditions will do that for you. Well, let's pause here and wait for our fossils. So I shut down the viewing stand and the hatchery that I forgot we were powering because we don't want to do that. Okay, we got a lot of Dunk, but it's going to take 3 batches at least to process, and we do need the full genome to even start. So, we do have more Dunk to get as well. Do we hire a new scientist? We could grab faster synthesis, but 400k is a little rough. 847 for the positive influence. I think, God, is it better to do... this quicker or more efficiently? I do not know. So the options would be the faster synthesis guy or this guy, because there's no point in hiring somebody if they aren't 3 genetics. Well, we already have a 3 genetics, so we could also just get another 2 logistics. So we could grab the altruistic, actually. 253. She wouldn't help with genetics or welfare, though, and I'm not sure that it's worth it in that case. Faster 689, too expensive. 399 faster research. 218, 111. I mean, we could do Alex here. 399. The big problem is just like if we need more welfare than that, it's an issue. Well, okay. So either of the three genetics here wouldn't work anyway. So I think we hire Alex. Let's just do it. Worst case scenario, we got to reboot the park, start over. So yeah, now we can do fossils and we can do research and we've got more genetics and welfare to hatch this thing if we need it. I think it's correct. I think it's the right play. All right. We're down to just under half of our starting money. And it's going to be at least 4 minutes till we can do something. So, hopefully the donkeys won't be too expensive or too social. Hopefully we can squeeze out a few fish real quick and get the aquarium online here. All right, expeditions are completed now, but we do have a absolutely prohibitive amount of fossils to clean out. So that's 1 set, 2 set, 3 sets, 4 sets of fossils. That's going to be just an awful amount of time. One, two, three, 4, 5. Yeah, so we don't have probably don't have enough staff time to get it done. So we probably push them over the limit. Then we want the staff center ready to rest them afterwards. Okay, so 4 pips a rest, 3 pips, 3 pips. I said we had 4 clutches of fossils to do, right? Let's just get this one started because this is always going to happen here. So 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. So you do 1 set, 2 set. These guys do a set. Then we hatch. Or these guys do 2 sets. You get exhausted. You have a pip left. Hopefully these two can do the hatch. Yeah, okay, that works. Yeah. Okay, so we do staff center now with these two. And then we should be able to get the embryo. We're hoping, which may not work out because we don't know what the genetics cost is. We're hoping, actually, can we figure that out? One to 3 batch size. It does not tell us. The incubation cost is only 300K. So we should have like $1 million leeway. No like, no dislike, fish open space. Yeah. So we can't tell what it is until we're ready to synth. Hopefully it's a 5. If it's a 6, we have to hire somebody anyway, and it doesn't really matter then that we're not rested. All right, well, I'm just going to sit here and, well, let's make sure we shut this down and process all these fossils so that we can actually clone a donkey. We're in business. Dunk is merely for genetics. So, I don't know. Yeah, we have some skin colors. We'll set this to random and eventually we'll get patterns. Long live chance. A little bit of defensive there by default, a little bit of small appetite. I am, I think, willing to push a little bit of lifespan here. Or all the lifespan, maybe? Because it doesn't substantially affect us. So, we do these two. But then everybody is mad at me and needs a nap. And then we have them all do the hatching. And then we can put them on a nap and it'll be fine. If they want to leave, then they can just leave. If any of them decide to just quit, if that event pops, we'll just let it happen. They can quit. I don't give a shit. We can get better scientists later. All right, a minute and a half for that. Still have $1 million left. That's really nice. We don't know what the hatching cost is going to be yet, but I don't think it should be insane. It's some proportion of like the synthesis cost, but I just don't know off the top of the head what it is. All right, we got the full set of 3 eggs that we could get from this. They are 300k a piece. It is interesting here. So, if we hatch all of these, we're just about broke. Probably not great. We could hatch just one. And then we have non-aggressive donkeys that are not going to kill other aquatics. However, I do not see ourselves adding ichthy or pleasy or pushing aquatic research anytime soon. So I think we need to get this park up and running on just donkeys. And I think if we're going to do that, I think we want 2 because 3 is just too expensive. These are both Death Valley blanks, so they are literally dupes of each other. So at least we'll see a different base skin color in game. And that leaves us 400k to play around with. I think that's the play. I think that's what we do. So do this. And while that's going on, we also want to make sure we build a staff center to get these people rested as soon as they come back. If they decide not to abandon me for being a bad boss. So I think we could try and just like sneak this back here. I kind of like the idea of doing that because like not much else is going to fit there. The only problem is, of course, that we got to put in a extended section of path, but I think it's all right. If we want to, we can even like cheekily put this in at a little bit of an angle to like follow the building angle. Yeah, like right like that, I think. Perfect. Yeah, let's do that. Let's not do perfect, 90-degree angles everywhere. All right. I haven't decided if we're going to put in an aviary. We'll decide later if it seems like we need one. I'm leaning towards not. Wild animal within building. Sabotage or a chance of losing 100k. Fuck. That's... Does this matter? Wait, this might not matter. Oh, this is problematic. So if it being sabotaged means we need a Jeep to reset it, which we do. I mean, that is what it means. But if the staff center being sabotaged means we can't actually rest our staff, we would need to get the Jeep in, and that would suck. That would be very expensive. Otherwise, we don't immediately need a Jeep. But we will need a Jeep eventually. How much I wish we could check the cost. I think we sabotage it. 4 minutes on the eggs. You know what? Sabotages will eventually clear on their own. We might be able to just ignore this. And we can actually tell right now. Yeah, not able to rest while sabotaged. Okay. So I think we basically just let this go and we see if it fixes itself on its own by the time the eggs are close to hatching. And when we get close, we can put in a ranger team, which is going to be only 100k. Just the big problem is that's the money I kind of need for like for visitor facilities. Be kind of good to have a little bit of money. Well, we got 10k left. The scientists are disgruntled. We do not have the capability to actually put in a ranger station to unsabotage the staff center. The actual play might be to not build the staff center and to fire all the scientists. I'm going to try and not do that. So, we're going to need you. How long do we have on power? 6 minutes. Ooh, that's pretty bad. 6 minutes is kind of a disaster. Oh, we don't have a fish feeder. We needed to make a fish feeder. I think we're fucked. Very dramatic. Fish.
Whatever you do not write off the Dunkleosteus as just a big fish.
Dunkleosteus?
No teeth, just 2 pairs of bony plates.
It's not how I would have pronounced
Warning,
it.
snap
But I don't know if I've ever heard it pronounced out loud before, so there's no reason for me to be correct. We made 2 dunks. The other option would be to make 1. Alright. Okay, let's do something here. So, the other infrastructure we're going to need to research is medical. That's a 1 and a 3. Which means we need 2 scientists. If I remember correctly, the actual medicine treatments, though, are 4, right? No, they are 3 as well. We definitely have to fire somebody. Which I think is going to be Suarez. I think she's the weak link here. So, you got to go. We're going to try and keep these 2. We're going to see if we can pull out of the negative here in time, because we do have profit ticking up. But we are in a precarious spot since we didn't put in a fish feeder. So we might have to restart. But I think it's quite doable. We just got to do it correctly. I think there's even maybe an argument. A world where we could have hatched 3. 69, 72. Okay. I mean, that's the level we're at. We don't have the money to put in shops or anything. Okay. I think we're boned here. So there's potentially we could pull out of this with some luck. I'm just not sure it's worth the effort ultimately. Because we could fire the scientist, right? We gamble on not running into an issue with diseases. And we can delete the expedition center and the research center to get money back, right? But I think I'd like to try this. I think I'd like to try this in a better way with the information we've gained from attempt 1 and not have to just scrap everything out to try and like hang on by our fingernails and then struggle back to like building everything again, right? It's going to take a long time to build back from essentially bankruptcy, whereas if we can head it off sooner, it'll be better for us. So let's redo this. We can see where the autosave is after the save I made here. And this was after we've already made some decisions. I might see if I can salvage the original save here. We'll see. All right, attempt 2 is underway. We had to do this spread on scientists. Unfortunately, Lorenzo here was pretty expensive. I think we cut her loose as soon as the last expedition comes in, because then we can do fossils with the combo of these guys instead of just her. Or we keep her around to do the hatch. I'm not entirely sure. We might want to keep her around to do the hatch just because of the way the unrest is going to work out, but we got a few moments to decide. We got some time. So I had the new scientist, well, they're all new scientists. I had the genetics person here do all the fossil extractions before we fired her. So you're all here to see Lorenzo get cut loose. Goodbye. And then these 2 are enough to get the donkeys out here. We don't put lifespan into these guys this time because we don't have the genetics, and we probably want to just save the pennies difference that it actually ends up being as well. Oh yeah, random favorite per egg. Cool. Ooh! Random favorite per egg means we can do some interesting, like, we can go through the skins we could pick out a bunch of skins that look very similar, and then we could roll random to get like a variation within the pack that we're releasing. That's really cool. We're going to do something with that in the future. You can favorite skins now, which just marks them as your favorite. And then I think you basically, when you go to clone a dinosaur, you can look at the skins and see which ones you've pre-marked as being your favorites. And apparently you can do random favorite to pick a random one out of the ones you like the most. That's really sick. I don't think I knew that there was random favorite. I think I knew that you could favorite skins, but I didn't know that you could pick one at random. And that's really good. I like that. Anyway, let's get some fish. So these guys aren't going to need to rest immediately, so that means we can keep them on standby, which is also good, because we don't have staff centers this time. I'm pretty sure we have less money. Maybe not quite. Maybe it's very similar. But is what it is. There's not much I can do about that. Also, this is 1 to 3 eggs, so we could end up with less eggs this time. But I think there's probably a strong argument based on the outcome of the previous run to hatch just 1 egg anyway. But I'll probably try and hatch 2 because why not? Actually, let's do this. We'll see what we get. Okay, 2 eggs. I'm going to save the game here. And if we have an attempt 3 at the challenge, we'll come back to this point and we'll hatch 1 egg. Because we're going to try and hatch both. Defensive small appetite, no traits. Yukon blank, mangrove blank. Do them both. Okay, 377 left for money. We have 20 minutes on the generator. That's better, at least. Three rows like in here. Oh, yeah. I mean, we had 3 rows for the aquatics or the pterosaurs before, but yeah, now they both have equal rows. It's weird to me to have more aquatics than pterosaurs, but I guess in some sense there's much more diversity amongst aquatic reptiles than pterosaurs in terms of body plans. So it kind of makes sense to like emphasize one over the other. But the pterosaurs I find much more interesting and more mechanically involved. So I'm sure they'll do. I'm sure we'll see that catch up over time if they keep doing DLCs. What I mean by that is I don't expect us to get a flyer DLC immediately, but I think we're more likely to see a flyer in any given DLC pack, right? Which means over time, they'll creep ahead again or catch back up. But that might require more DLCs than we'll get for the game, so. Yeah, Pennsylvania is a decent enough option there. That kind of makes sense for the reason you described. Okay, 250k. 2 minutes. Yeah. You know what? We're ticking down at a much slower rate. We were ticking down 10k per tick. We're going down 6k per tick here. So even though the money we have right now is less than we had at this point in the previous park, I think, we're doing better overall. All right, well, these eggs will be out in a minute. Here's something we should probably do. We should probably just put in the feeder right now before we run out of the cash for it. I don't remember how much it costs. So the donkeys do want, oh, it's only 25. The donkeys do want fish. So we're going to go ahead and put in a fish feeder. We'll do a shark later when we can afford it to see the shark feeding animation. I don't know if the fish thing is a mistake that the dunks have a fish need, or if it's intentional design that they need fish and want shark, basically, but hard to say. These guys released at night last time, right? Is the starting time of day randomized? Feels like it might be. Oh, there's the donkeys. 1 white, 1 red. I mean, if they're going to put a fish in the game, this is probably the fish I would want. I mean, I prefer this vastly over, like, Megalodon, for instance. Missing fish, but that's just because they haven't moved around. Open space they'll have, area they'll have. All right, let's get this. We should have had this activated already, but it's fine. No, I don't get early access because I am a small fry. You need you need a lot more subs than I have to get early access. Like a lot more. Tack on maybe 2 zeros to my sub count, and then maybe I'll get early access if that. I also probably won't get early access even in that case because I swear and stuff, right? They probably don't want to be associated with me. Fuckers. All right, we got guests. Are we profitable? We're coming up. We're coming up. Okay, what we should do, it makes more sense to get guest ratings up now. Well, we have the money to afford it. And go bankrupt, and then let it recover in the window of time that we have, the grace period before we lose the run, right? So, we cannot put a bathroom there. We cannot put a bathroom here. Can we put a bathroom here? Yes. That's where I'm going to put it then. Next, 100K. Shelter is 75. Well, let's put a shelter down. Do we want a shelter? Maybe we want amenity, because an amenity will make money. And a shelter will just like, I mean, a shelter makes money because ratings go up and you get more guests, right? But a shelter is somewhat expensive. Yeah, see, we can do a set of amenities instead. Let's do at least one amenity here and see how much it makes and go from there. Orange and green is not the greatest combo, but fine. 150, 258, 480. So it looks to me like empty is just best, which is oh, did they fix these? Wait. Preview 330. Profit 258. Nope, preview still broke. Frontier, fix the shot preview. What the fuck? All right. I think we'll put in the shelter and not more amenities because the profit margin is pretty low. Mostly by virtue of just not having a good green-orange combo to use. So I think... Yeah, we should probably just put this in the middle. The shops can be offset, I think, better than the shelter can be offset. Maybe. I mean, it looks like profit's still going up. Here's the other problem, right? These guys need to stay in view. And that is not something we can control. If we're unlucky and they swim out of view, we just lose. And that's kind of bad. Okay, we're negative. Profit margin is leveling out. And it's leveling out with us not being profitable, which is a problem. 972. 1,100. 1,170. 1,206. Okay. That's better. Out of cash. Okay, still bleeding. Still bleeding. I mean, it still hasn't completely flattened out. Maybe. Maybe we can do this. Maybe. It sucks, too, because we're so close. Oh, the donkeys are swimming far away. They're just about out of view. The moment that swims out of view, we're done. It's over. Fuck. So, we can do solo donkey. But that also might be problematic. Maybe the thing to do is to put in a small lagoon over here. Release one donkey and move it over. But then we're going to need a viewing stand. But we can do that. We can do like a regular viewing stand. It should work. That might be what we have to try next. Because these guys are going to swim out of view and the whole park's going to tank and crash. And it's just random that happens. But I am concerned by the fact that currently they're both in view and are just not profitable. We have only 4 minutes in the backup generator. It just keeps ticking down. It's so close. Yeah, there's the flat level. Okay, so what could we do? It might be the case that this park build needs like the right starting scientists to work out too. Like to try to get this done in 2 scientists instead of 3 or something. But I don't know if we could, because like 4 genetics, we'd have to have like 4 logistics on one guy, 3 genetics on the other, 1 genetic, and then like split welfare. That could work. That is plausible. It means we need like a logistics specialist, and then just some other scientist with 3 genetics. Like a logistics specialist, a genetics specialist, and they both have 2 welfare would work. But it would also, they'd have to be not overly expensive. We could also just do more money. That would be the easy solution. I mean, so amenity revenue is enough to get this profitable, right? Because we only got the 1 amenity, but it's, you know, 11K here on the tick. So if we had 1 more amenity, we'd be at 49 versus 45 upkeep. We're literally just missing the amenity. Has at full capacity too. I didn't see that. Oh, oh no, this is what's sinking us. Ironically, in our aquatic park, we're getting sunk by path capacity. Okay, so that means we need more pathing. These dunks are just playing on the border here of like going out of view. They're really messing with me. So we can demolish this to reset the timer. There's no point because they're about to run out of power. Can't demolish the lagoon viewing stands. All right. I think this is doable, but it's got to be the exact right situation. So I think we'll end this episode here. And I'm going to try and get us into a position to finish the run. Probably maybe by resetting a few times for the right scientists or something. I don't know. If we maybe try 1 dunk. Actually, given that path capacity is a problem, if we do 1 dunk, maybe that's just the outcome. Let's try that. We'll try that next. We'll try 1 dunk from the save I made, and a separate lagoon, and we'll see if that works.